I'm a hairstylist and my client is stranded at Supercuts without her phone. In closing in 30 mins, what do I do with her? Wait, a person with dementia is gonna being driving her home. You might need to call the non-emergency police, and to be on the safe side, stick around to make sure non-police or her husband safely picks her up. Let her use your phone. Offer to call her a cab. Tell her you will be closing up in 30 min. Let her know where there is another safe establishment she can wait in. Courtesy would be to wait some time for her, assuming she has an actual plan to get home. If people are on their way, I would stick around for a bit. Unless there was another place close by, like grocery store. Does she not know his number? Can you call him? This was my mom and dad before they went into separate facilities in Jan. Please don't leave her. Can you take her home or get her an Uber? I had a neighbor with dementia that would drive around accusing different neighbors of stealing his fence. The fence was there. I called police until they took away his license. His wife took the car keys, and after that he sat in the car pretending he was driving. Take pity on the poor woman. Living with a dementia patient is a nightmare in itself. If you can't quickly locate her friend's family via FB or something, consider hauling her home yourself if it isn't way far away. Or something. You 100 need to call social services and ask them for the elder support line. There's always something like a local state agency that you can file an anonymous report with who can check up on them at home. They should not be living by themselves and or driving around. This could be the wake-up call. Their kids need to get them assistance. Offer to take her home? Why is a person with dementia driving? I am more concerned with her husband than her. Call the cops. He should not be driving. If you got one of the children's numbers, keep calling them to be sure they are aware of what happened. Say you're not wanting to intervene or be nosy, but that this is what happened today and you just want them to be aware. They genuinely may not know what is going on with their parents, as they might routinely serve their parents at home, and a lot can be masked in that situation. Dad's getting a bit dottery, but they haven't realized that as soon as dad's out the front door, he has no idea what to do. Haircuts are dangerous for old people with dementia, y'all. I'd totally forgotten this detail. But my grandfather finally had his car taken away after he went out for a haircut and ended up in a small town 60 miles outside the city where he lived. He couldn't remember his daughter's numbers and spent a night there courtesy of the local police until they could track down my aunt the next morning. Call the non-emergency number. Maybe her husband has dementia. But if that's the case, why would she allow him to drive her? More likely scenario is she has early stages, shouldn't have driven, but didn't feel she had any other way. What do you end up doing? If this ever happens again, it's okay to report a neglected elderly person to the police. I've seen police videos where they showed up to assist a drunk person to get home. Of course the drunks mess it up because they won't listen even when the police are truly trying to help them find a ride home. But the point is, the police don't just chase criminals, they also help people who actually need help. Why not just drive her home? I'm glad you were worried for her and took care of her. In truth, many older couples can only survive because they compensate for each other's deficiencies. If she comes back, keep an eye on her. This sounds like really bad decision-making on her part. Being old doesn't equal being stupid. I hope she learns from this experience. Gosh, I sound cynical. Did you call the house or husband's cell phone if he has one? Do they have children?